Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Runa. Today's going to be a foundation fanatic type of video. I decided to name my foundation series Foundation Fanatics because I feel like I get this from a lot of my friends, and I get this from a lot of my friends in the beauty community and my followers. A lot of people are obsessed with foundation, and I think I've always been really obsessed with foundation, so I feel like I need to have like every review to like every foundation in the world. I buy them, so might as well do reviews for you guys, wear tests for you guys. So Foundation Fanatic is basically wear testing. So I'm going to take a foundation that I just recently purchased or something that's popular, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to see if it's brown girl friendly. I'm going to see if it's skin friendly. I'm also going to see if it works out on my skin, and I'm going to wear it the whole day. So usually a 10-hour test is what I'm going to do. If I can do longer ones, then I'll do longer ones. But yeah, mostly what I'm going to do is a wear test. I own a lot of these foundations already, and I never really do wear testing. Another thing you guys need to know about my foundation is I'll never do first impressions for you guys because I feel like first impressions is kind of like not good enough for foundation. I feel like foundation needs to be worn a couple of times to like actually understand it. So a lot of these foundations, I've worn them a couple of times already, so I actually understand how it's going to be, but I've never filmed a physical wear test. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Maybelline Master Primer Foundation. Today I'm going to be using the Healthy Elixir CoverGirl Foundation. Since this is a drugstore foundation, I thought it would only make sense to use a drugstore primer, so you guys could actually, you know, get the full gist of it. I always wear primer underneath my foundation. I don't think primer really does anything for your foundation all the time. Like, I don't think it's gonna mess up the formula, you know what I mean? I think if anything, primer will help the foundation perform better. So just to be clear, I always do one side sponge and one side brush because I'm a firm believer that sponge can apply a foundation differently and brush can apply a foundation differently, and I always like to see which one's better. I use both methods. The brush is my favorite method, but Beauty Blender does look better with some of the foundations that I've used before, so I like to test both. Before I go into applying this, I'm just going to look on Ulta.com and I'm going to see what this foundation promises to do and see if those promises are true. I'm not like a super, like, I don't really go by what these foundation people say. I don't really believe the marketing stuff. I always kind of just go with what I feel like works for me. So it's CoverGirl's Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. So here you go. I am on Ulta's thing. CoverGirl's Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation has a vitamin-infused formula with a special antioxidant and vitamin complex. Finally, a hydrating formula. So this is a hydrating formula. It's definitely for someone like me with dry skin. For beautiful, buildable coverage that glides on smoothly for a flawless look. This special antioxidant and vitamin complex plus SPF 20 works together to make your skin look healthy all day. Give your skin a luminous glow, available in multiple shades from light to deep. Let's look at the shade range. What's the darkest shade? So it comes with 7 colors. 7 colors, and majority of them are from the medium and dark range. So this is definitely a brown girl friendly foundation because they have a lot of shades available for brown girls and darker skin tones. 2 pumps onto my Beauty Blender, and then I'm also going to keep my I'm going to keep my right side Beauty Blender, my left side you know, what's it called? Brush. So first off, this shade is Golden Tan. So it's Golden Tan. Now, I'm going to tell you this straight up. I feel like Golden Tan's too dark for me. But when I put it on my neck, it just blends right into my neck. So maybe it's not that dark for me. A little goes a long way. I'm feeling that. It is very lightweight, and it says it's full coverage. Lightweight, full coverage, makeup, hydrating. It has a vitamin-y smell to it, so that's what the smell is. It's not pleasant, but it's not like fragrancy. It's more vitamin. If you guys know what vitamins, I don't know if you guys take vitamins. I take vitamins, so I kind of know what it smells like. What it says it's full coverage. Now I don't find it completely full coverage. I would say it's medium coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage because other foundations will cover up my pimple scars. So those are pimple scars. When I get pimples, even if I don't touch them, I don't pop my pimples, I still get scars and they take time to fade away. So those are like in the process of fading away, but they still haven't been covered up all the way. So I wouldn't say this is like a full coverage foundation. I would say it's a medium coverage foundation. It's definitely lightweight, so you still have like a skin-like texture. I do notice that it's kind of breaking up around my nose already. I have to like really dab that in correctly. It's not covering this up. It's not covering up my, oh my gosh, I didn't even do skincare this morning. Horrible. And it's not covering up my manchas, so I wouldn't say it's full coverage. The color is really good though. There's no orange tone to it. It's a very neutral color, so I mean, I'm feeling it. I'm here for it. Now we're going to go on to the brush side. I'm just going to put a pump on the brush. I want to say I put maybe 2 pumps on my Beauty Blender, but you know, Beauty Blender always takes up more product. So 1 pump on the brush is really good. Okay, so I have a little pigmentation over here, and it looks like it's covering it up really well in that area, but I still wouldn't call this a full coverage foundation, even if I'm applying it with the brush. I feel like when you apply things with a brush, it does go on a little bit more, you know, opaque and more, like, you know, it gives more coverage. Any foundation that you're going to put on with the brush will give you more coverage. 1 pump. So that's just 1 pump on this side of my face. So now that I have the foundation on my face all the way, it matches me. I feel like this color matches me. I do look really tan. Probably would go 1 shade lighter, but I technically like to wear my foundations 1 shade lighter because I do go in and warm up my skin a lot with bronzer. I just like that look. And then foundations usually oxidate on me. I don't think this one oxidized at all. It's just very the same color. So if you can see, it is 10:35. I know I have that little quote there. So it's 10:35. I am going to do a 10-hour wear test. So you're going to see me chime in 10-hour wear test. Oh, here we go to the wear test. Hey guys, so this is me. Let me take my glasses off. 4:42 in the afternoon. So that means I've had this on since 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. So I've had this foundation on for about 6 hours. And if you guys can see, I did set my foundation today. Personally, so on the right side, I did the Beauty Blender. And I personally like how the Beauty Blender side looks. And I'm not a big fan of how the brush side looks. It's very textury on this side. And it's very smooth on this side. The textury side, I want to say it's very textury because the brush puts on a lot more foundation. I feel like I don't like the brush side. It did seep into lines right here, if you guys noticed that. Could be because I didn't do any skincare today, and I usually always do skincare, and then it's all caked up right here. But look at the Beauty Blender side. The Beauty Blender side looks pretty flawless. It didn't cake up. It looks still very smooth. And I want to say that the Beauty Blender side, even like this side looks better than this side. The brush side just looks, ooh, it's just not cute. Looks really bad. I almost want to take this side off and just do it all Beauty Blender because the Beauty Blender side looks amazing. So if you're a Beauty Blender user, you're definitely going to love this foundation by CoverGirl. I'm a brush user, so I am kind of sad because I was reading for it. Anyway, so this is a 6-hour mark. So far, it looks great on this side. So if I would have done my whole face with a Beauty Blender, I would have been so excited because I would have been like, wow, it looks perfect. Seems like it got super shiny on this side and it's super not shiny on this side. Like, it's still very matte. So I feel like with the brush, it didn't work that well. That's crazy. Hey guys, so it is officially 11:51. I've had this foundation pretty much all day, practically almost 12 hours, so gone has been the 10 hours. Basically the side that I used the beauty blender on is flawless. It looks nice, no creasing, it's still lasting. It's not even a 12-hour wear foundation. I think it's like an 8-hour or 6-hour wear foundation, or 10 hours, I'm not sure, but it did last all day. It's 11 o'clock at night already. The side that I used the brush on, it's basically faded away, and it just looks like you can just clearly tell this side is super natural and flawless, and this side is super mixed up and gritty and, you know, fading away and just looking really, really crazy. So I would give this foundation a 4.0, a 4-star rating, because it blends well, it goes on smoothly, it had great pigmentation, and that is very good to find in a $12 foundation. I think this foundation is $11.99, so I think it was definitely a very solid foundation, a great everyday wear foundation. It was great for my dry skin on this side, and it was definitely not full coverage. It was medium coverage. That's why 1 star is knocked off, because it said it's full coverage and buildable, but as you can see, if you try to build this foundation, it's just going to kind of wipe off. So with this foundation, less is more is definitely like the practice you want to go with this foundation. So that's why it's gonna get a 4 stars, because of a little bit of false advertising. No, it's not false advertising. It could be full coverage on some people. Some people have flawless skin, and this foundation would be full coverage on them. Obviously, I have older skin, and I'm not 20, you know, I'm not 18. This foundation still looks amazing on me, even though I have a little bit more mature skin, but I'm not that old, but you know what I mean. And I just think at the end of the day, it's a great value for your money. $11.99 isn't that bad. You can definitely test it out. It's a great test out foundation. Thanks for watching the Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation by CoverGirl. It is definitely a hyped up foundation, and I mean, it lived to some of its hype. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Go ahead and comment, share, and like down below. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Both are Glam by Runa. My Twitter is linked down below, as well as a link to this foundation is down below. So you can also read other reviews and make your final decision. And also, let me end this with, if this foundation is brown girl friendly. This foundation is definitely brown girl friendly, because it has deep enough shades. I think it's like one of the deepest shades I've seen in drugstore so far. So CoverGirl is always really good at focusing on everybody's skin tones, so I was very excited about that. I can't wait to try their other foundations also. Yeah, so anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.